Go ahead, Diana.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Diana Zitzerman, and it's a pleasure to be here during Workplace Wellness. I hope everyone's going to have a great work week ahead and, times for reboosting your energy and your own internal systems. So today we're going to talk about some power foods in regards to boosting your energy. And I'm on behalf with Holistic Health Options here at the JCC in order to provide individuals with nutritional consultations and naturopathic care and also acupuncture. So let's begin. Can everyone see my screen? Thumbs up if yes. Okay, awesome. So we're going to talk about some power foods to boost your energy throughout the day and week. So here is just a brief energy metabolism diagram because as we know, we get our energy through our food, so our diet. And there's three basic macronutrients. We get energy from proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And what we don't see on a regular basis is that all of these proteins, carbohydrates, and fats get broken down in our digestive tract, which creates different molecules that get inputted into our energy manufacturing organelles that are called the mitochondria. And so what happens is our fast metabolizing or even slow metabolizing cells in our body are always being pumped with all these nutrients in order to produce the energy. So keeping up our metabolism is basically feeding ourselves so that it can constantly be producing this ATP molecule, adenosine triphosphate, or energy. And if you've ever been to a biology class, you may remember these mitochondria words being the ATP powerhouses, our energy producers. And so just thinking about this from a cellular level is really important. We need three basic macronutrients to give rise to ATP production. So when our bodies absorb and begin to utilize and process and convert this energy, we want to make sure that we're sustaining this energy. And so how we sustain our energy can be looked at through a blood sugar kind of profile over time. So how much blood sugar gets generated throughout our day. We know that high carbohydrate, not necessarily complex carbs, but more so refined glucose, simple sugars, has a high impact where our energy, we feel rejuvenated and spiked for a very short period of time. It can last between 15 to 2 hours. That's why if you have a high sugary food, maybe like a banana in this case, or like a little sugary, baked good, maybe with some protein or not. But if it's higher in carbohydrate, as far as percentage, it's going to give us a big jump up and a big dive down very quickly. However, when we add more protein into our meal, whether it's a snack or our meal, now all of this protein starts to get processed and it burns 50% of the glucose spike, and it can last now between 2 to 4 hours. So that's why adding protein into our meals or our snacks can give us more sustained energy for a longer period of time. And then on top of that, when we add fat, it helps to actually release energy throughout our bloodstream for longer periods of time, around 8 to 10 hours. That's why a lot of times the new fad of this ketogenic diet, higher percentage of fat in our diet, is usually a very favorable one for sustainable energy. So without further ado, I'll share with you my favorite power foods to increase your energy. Number one highlight is definitely avocados. Why I love them so much is because they're rich in omega-3s and omega-6 fatty acids. These are the anti-inflammatory fats. They're anti-inflammatory because they actually help to decrease the pro-inflammatory fats. Usually those that are cholesterol that can come from animal meats, animal fats, that sort of jazz. They're also a great source of magnesium and potassium, where if we're trying to manage blood pressure, it can be very helpful, these two types of minerals. They make for a very yummy taco bowl addition. If you ever make a deviled egg, it's considered, the mayo portion of it. Sometimes avocado is known as the nature's mayo. It thickens smoothies. It's really great to add, and you can make any dip with it. So there's various ways to add avocado into your meals, and that produces a very well-balanced meal or even a balanced snack. So it's also great for many types of diets, whether you're following the ketogenic diet, the paleo diet, or just a general anti-inflammatory diet. However, there is caution when using avocado. And this is with relationship to the FODMAP diet, just because avocado's sugars can create a digestive trigger for those with a dysbiosis related to sugar metabolism. So if you wanted to maintain a low FODMAP diet, you would want to probably minimize your avocado use. But after that, it's pretty much a go for energy support. My next favorite is the meaty nuts. So these meaty nuts are not the exhaustive list, but there are some common nuts that we sometimes question, is it too fat? Is it too rich? How much nutrients are being supplied for me? So I just want to go over the really major basics from some of my favorite nuts. And of course, if you have a nut allergy, you want to speak to your medical provider first before you add this to your energy boosting diet. So we have almond, pecans, macadamia, Brazil nuts, cashew, and walnut. The few specifics that I want individuals to take home is that almonds are really high in magnesium, more than 100% of your daily value. So a handful of almonds are excellent. Also a great source to lower your cholesterol. They're also high in manganese, copper, and vitamin E. Pecans are high in manganese and some omega-3s, which are your anti-inflammatory fats. Macadamia is very much of a fatty type of a nut. As many of us know, they have some omega-3s and manganese similar to pecan. Brazil nuts are highest for selenium, which really help with thyroid hormone production. They're also high in magnesium and phosphorus and copper. Cashews have probably one of the best amino acid profiles, and this is your proteins, just because of its richness and its variety in amino acids. They're also high in magnesium and copper. Walnuts by far have the highest amount of omega-3s. So when you're trying to boost energy from a fat source, walnuts, which kind of resemble the actual brain, are a really great way to increase energy, brain function, focus, alertness, nervous system in that regard. They're also high in manganese and copper. So if you can see the profile of nuts just in general, and these are not exact numbers, they're rich in fat, pretty much almost 80%. They have some protein and they have some carbs. So they are definitely ketogenic friendly. They're very low in cholesterol and sodium, unless you buy the salted versions. Be careful with that. And they're a great source of vitamins, minerals, proteins, and fats. You can enjoy them as a mixed variety or just a handful of one type. Great energy boosters. The next type of power food I want to introduce is sunflower seeds. Now, if you have an allergy to nuts, you're probably going to try some seeds instead. The reason why I like sunflower seeds is because they're high in fats and protein and some carbs. They're higher in omega-6 fatty acids, which can really help increase progesterone levels, especially in women who are undergoing pre-menopause, perimenopause, or even postmenopause if their progesterone levels are dipping low. Progesterone is also a precursor to cortisol, your stress hormone. So better get that checked. And if it's low, consider adding sunflower seeds. They're a great source of vitamin B1, thiamine, B5, pantothenic acid, B6, magnesium, phosphorus, copper, manganese, and selenium, and especially vitamin E. Very high amounts of vitamin E in this. They're also very low in cholesterol. They can be enjoyed as a buttery spread or dry roasted or toasted in a crunchy salad or saute. They're a great add to any trail mix that you're making at home, So definitely an energy booster. My next favorite energy boost is our friendly salmon. Now, I prefer for individuals and myself and my family to eat more wild-caught fish, just to avoid any kind of contamination that can come from farm-raised. So wild Atlantic or sockeye are commonly eaten versions. You can eat them as baked or air fried, pan seared, or even in a can, but make sure that the can is BPA free. There are versions of those. You'll notice that it gives you a great source of protein and fat. Why are we working on protein and fat? Because they're more sustainable energy throughout the day. They're high in omega-3 fatty acids, which is excellent anti-inflammatory action. They're lowest in mercury, very good, and also sodium. They're high in B12, which is a great energy booster in itself as a vitamin, and selenium, which is great for the thyroid. So you can enjoy it over a bed of greens and a salad. You can make it as a tuna salad, as a version of that. You can even take your leftover baked and smash it into your favorite dairy cream cheese or non-dairy cream cheese and make it into a salmon cream cheese. Some ideas there. So that concludes my salmon as a power food. The next version of a power food comes from a protein shake. Sometimes we decide to have a meal replacement or add some nutrition through a protein shake. And I find this actually very, very helpful throughout the day. It's very quick. You can add liquid to the already powdered mix and you could be on your way. And if you have more time, you can actually blend fruits and vegetables into it to make it a little bit more enriched. So when it comes to protein shakes, you have the protein itself into liquid. Once you add vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals, which are your antioxidants and your super green foods that come from plants, then it becomes a nutritional shake. Normally, it gives you 20 grams of protein per serving. So this is phenomenal for sustained energy. And it works great as a snack or meal replacement, especially if you're watching calories. You can enjoy it with flax milk, pea milk, coconut, or almond milk. And adding greens and fruit of your liking is definitely a hit bonus. Last but not least, I save it for a savory treat. And this is the idea of no bake energy bites. You can also find it as energy balls or bars. And the idea here is to combine your balanced carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into a very nice sweet treat. Maybe you have that, mid-afternoon slump and you need some energy. Remember, it's the fats and the protein that keep you running. So typical recipes can be found online. Recipes are available if you're following Whole30, Paleo, Keto, or even like friendly kids meals. So we see protein coming from nut butters, added seeds, crushed nuts, and definitely one scoop of a powdered protein. You can add some gluten-free oats, non-dairy milks, as you see here, and some sweetness, whether you're enjoying some honey, allergen-free chocolate chips, dried fruit, dates, and some additives, which could just be vanilla extract, shredded coconut, or even cinnamon for my favorites. So this concludes our Power Foods. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead and enjoy eating. Thank you.